Ladies and gentlemen, for purposes of a presentation, please welcome a friend and our legal ally in defending Veterans Memorials, the CEO and President of First Liberty Institute, Kelly Shackelford.
First Liberty is the largest legal organization in the country that all we do is religious freedom. We have a wonderful relationship with the American Legion for one reason. We both love freedom and are committed to freedom. And I wanted to start with you to mention a couple of the things that we're doing that you might not know about and then get to the award. It has been our honor to represent the American Legion whenever the Pledge of Allegiance has come under attack across the country. And I'm here to report that we have won every single one of these cases in federal court across the country. It's been our honor to represent the American Legion whenever the national motto, "In God We Trust," has come under attack. And again, we have won every single one of these cases in federal courts across the country. And as veterans memorials have become under attack across the country, we've been able to preserve and defend every one of those memorials. But I do have an update, and it's an update that we have to pay attention to, and that's the Bladensburg Veterans Memorial. This memorial was put up almost 100 years ago by the American Legion and by Gold Star moms who had lost their sons in World War I. And after almost 100 years, a lawsuit was filed by the American Humanist Association. And this memorial is special not just because it's a veteran memorial, but this memorial was actually put up originally on the land of an American Legion post. It was dedicated at an American Legion ceremony, and emblazoned on this memorial is the symbol of the American Legion. And I hate to tell you this, but the Federal Court of Appeals ruled 6 or 8 months ago that this memorial, after almost 100 years, is now unconstitutional because it's in the shape of a cross. The idea of bulldozing a national memorial is just something we can't even fathom. But it even goes further than that. What precedent would that set? And more than that, the Fourth Circuit, which issued this opinion, within that circuit is Arlington National Cemetery. So this precedent, if not overturned, would mean they would have to go into Arlington and begin removing crosses. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure that doesn't happen. So please be aware, this case is now at the United States Supreme Court, and we are going to fight until we win. To follow this, if you want to follow the case and see what's going, feel free to go to firstliberty.org and follow that. Keep this in your prayers. Let other people know about this. I think this is something that most Americans would never stand for, but this is a battle that's ahead, and in the upcoming months, we're going to find out what the Supreme Court does about taking this case. It's one of the most watched cases in the country. But the good news is, while we're fighting, there are some who have been doing an incredible job of fighting for our religious freedom. And as you saw, we give a pretty great award. Henry 22 caliber repeating arms Golden Boy rifle, and I just want to thank, I don't know if any of you know, the president of Henry, which is Anthony Imperato. When he found out that we were first going to give this award at the American Legion, he said, we want to donate that rifle every year because we think this is that important. So we just couldn't be more thankful for Henry and their commitment to the American Legion and to our Constitution. This year's award recipient really wasn't that difficult. We've never really had a year where somebody so surpassed anybody else in the advances they made for religious freedom. This year's Philip B. Onderdonk Jr. Award is going to President Donald J. Trump. The reason for that is within months of taking office, President Trump passed an executive order advancing religious freedom throughout all of our federal agencies and government, including the military. Shortly thereafter, and as part of the order, he asked the Attorney General to produce guidelines, and the Attorney General has now produced guidelines for religious freedom, which has been distributed throughout the federal government to ensure more accommodation and protection of religious freedom throughout all of our federal agencies, departments, and the military. And just a few months ago, following up on that, the Department of Justice, for the first time in our history, created a religious liberty task force to make sure that these guidelines and that this order were being implemented throughout our federal government. And that's just the beginning. When President Trump took office, we had almost 100 lawsuits going on against ministries like the Little Sisters of the Poor and others who had problems in their faith because of some of the requirements of Obamacare. Those lawsuits have all been stopped across the country. And look at the judges being appointed, from Justice Gorsuch all the way down, 60 now. These have been justices and judges who are at the highest level of excellence in their commitment to religious freedom and the Constitution. I could go through list after list after list, but realize the award this year, that the biggest problem is going to be how we get that rifle into the White House. But we are going to get that rifle into the White House, and President Trump has agreed to accept the award, and in fact, Vice President Pence has agreed to accept it on his behalf as well. So we will be getting him that award, and he is the recipient this year of the Philip B. Onderdonk Jr. Award for Religious Freedom. I just want to end by telling you what an honor it is to work with the American Legion on these cases and for our country and our Constitution. And I just want to end with something that I'm sure all of you agree with. That Bladensburg Veterans Memorial is not coming down. It is not coming down. It is not coming down. Thank you, and God bless you.